So, inland waters, water sites, and their challenging. Well, at the picture you can see what we have might be have challenging. This photo is at Heinola, Kymijoki River, and this is what we are up against at the rivers, where wood industry has transported all the woods. And timeline for cultural heritage is that this is quite challenging to figure it out what we already has and have here in Finland. Because after Ice Age, earliest living place, what archaeologists has found is 830 BC. So just a little bit over 100 years after the ice sheet has returned and made it down. After that, Iron Age and the Viking Age, Hanse Union, under Sweden, under Russian. So when we are start building this timeline, we have quite challenging environments and changing water levels because like Lake Päijänne, it's about 5,000 years ago. After ice sheet has melted, Päijänne has flown at the north, and about 5,000 years ago, it has turned it to flowing at the south. At the water level, there's one place where we can see at Lake Päijänne, Polkkilaharju. We can see that the old water level has been about 12 meters lower than it's right now. So there's that problem that if we are trying to solve some living places or that, we have that challenges where those water levels has been at that time period. And what we have what we are knowing about where we can collect some data and archives, it starts about 20th or 100th century. But like tar, it is a first commercial selling product for export in Finland. And Big Bang demand is starts at 1600. So at 15th century, Measure Food Board has transported at the Netherlands for shipbuilding. And we know these archive documents that this has been happened. And first sawmill, water sawmill in Finland is 1533. So when we start putting this timeline together, we have quite rich cultural heritage for us. And this is one philosophic text what Reino Hemmilä has said. Reino is retired ex-military diver, and if lakes have no soul or ability to think, so they think, okay, we can take every mud here, it fits, and surface has still many meters to go, and mud just here. So mud, we have those lakes, we have and rivers where there's no flooding or currents or like that. We have lots of mud, but rivers, thinking is not even smart person can fully understand. It's shifty and moody because rivers are changing all the time. They are never at the same. And this is one big challenge if we are trying to figure it out, timelines or living places, that how people have get some places. But this is also one keynote for us, that we know that the ice age and prehistorical people has used rivers for moving and transporting and all of those ones. That we have lots of different kind of eras and living places and grateful places. Like this picture, we have all of these ones. We have prehistorical, Stone Age, and time area is quite big where we can find these ones. And also, when we count everything together, this is almost everything is at the shoreline, at the lakes or at the rivers. And also we have rock paintings. We have 96 different sites in Finland. And biggest has around 200 paintings. And only one has done an archaeological survey, which is Astumansalmi at Mikkeli. And that is underwater survey. We haven't, there's any of it, what we have a study of these ones. At the surface, yes, but underwater, because almost everyone, these ones are near at the water. And we have a dive, me and my dive buddies, we have a dive under one of these rock paintings at Vuolenkoski, and it's covered at the big rocks. So if there's something, we cannot find it, but this is some area which we have, how I say, we might have a big job to cover. That if we want to start building some timeline or what we can find at the early days when people have arrived in Finland. And then we have, if we start looking at the history, this timeline starts going quite interesting. Iron Era to Viking to Hanse Union. We have pretty good copies found, the Iron Era swords, also Viking swords, which we have 31 pieces. We found it in Finland, and all of those ones is mostly inland. So we can think it like that, that how these ones that has come here in Finland. And if we have good copies, the Iron Era swords, how that manufacturing method has come in here. So how people have transported, it's a waterways, water transport. And if we start looking at the right pictures, that the lower one, there is other routes at the rivers which Viking has traveled. And I think they have gone much further than this picture shows. Because I think what we are missing in here in Finland, we don't have any kind of, what I know, or I have found it, any kind of war places at the Viking era. So I think it must be more trade bases, because we have found those swords at the inland and quite far at the inland. And if we go a little bit further, when era is turning Viking to Hanse Union about 1200, then the same time, if the Hanse Union has ruled the Baltics, at the same time, the Mongolia has been the biggest, and that western border has been at the Lake Laatokka, and that ain't so far. So that way we can question this one: how much they have used waterways to travel inland. This time era originates to Hanse Union. And this is the time era which we start collecting different kind of pieces of history. And at this time era is also quite challenging also, because the water levels, we don't know what the really those water levels has been, that we could start making a better challenge. And this is come to our next challenge: shipwreck glory inland. Well, this is it. We don't have that same kind of glory inland for ships what we have like a Baltic. We have, how I say, these smaller ones what we have lots of rowing boats like that left one, and flat bottomed boats at the right one. We have these ones quite a lot, and the oldest one is 700 years old. And this is one question what I have been asking, that how can we identify these? Because the time scale can be 20 years to how far? 50, 100, 200 years, 500 years. Because the problem is that the models has been quite the same at the long times. And also, it's how we gonna take measures, like a carbon or dendro samples for the small wood planks, that we can get some kind of official data. What age can that be? Where that wood has been growing up? So we have quite a challenge of that. And then these barges. Barges has been a main transport equipment for different goods: tar, woodboard, tile, everything. And this is a time era that starts about 1850s, when steamer ships has found its roots at the Finland. And This is one challenge what we have in inland. All the steamer boat ships has, if they has been sink, they almost has been lifted up and recovered. There might be some small engine, copper pipes in that place, but you don't have anything else. But this barges, this we have, what, 1,000? All the Finlands, I think we might be talking about over 10,000 pieces of these ones. And we can think about it, what these can teach us for shipbuilding, because these are quite easily accessed. And we have these ones, all of the biggest lakes, Päijänne, Saimaa, all over the Tampere, Näsijärvi, we have these ones. Quite a lot. So everywhere where you have been a sawmill, it's almost definitely you're going to find these ones also. And like that middle picture, there's two barges side by side. Left one is broken. We think it's ice what has broken down. The right one, it's almost full in touch. And then we have infrastructure, object and sites. And this is another big segment what we have inland, all over our lakes and rivers. You don't know where you're going to find what. And these are like that you don't have any kind of sites at the surface. And this is just a small samples what we have is that casket full of stones. We think where is located we are thinking that, okay, it's wood industry time and it has to be some kind of related where at the wood transport when they have what was it? They have transported those woods, raw woods, at the water. Then we have the right one, right up, Linnankosken power plant. It's an old one. It's 1910 to 1923. We have also these old one power plants. If we have one, we might have a second one somewhere else. We just haven't found it yet. And then we have this down left, we have dock shipyard rails at Heinola. There has been a quite big repair machinery area in that place, and only one which is left are these rails at underwater. And that has been quite, we go about 1950s, and that has been quite a busy place at that time. And then we have one casket, we have two caskets, which has no open lid in it. And we don't even know what they have used of these ones. We think that, okay, where they are at the Kymijoki River, then it must be related somehow at the wood industry time. But what we are thinking that, okay, what else we can find, because these are about 1900, 1800, maybe 1700, because we have one place where we have found it, a burned wood, and it goes to the same place where there has been an old bridge about 1520s, what they have burned. And when we start thinking these ones, also that how rich our history is underwater, what we don't know. And the problem at this one is where we can find the information and documents for these ones. Only ones what is we have found it are pictures, almost the only ones. And then we have, I don't know where we have, where else we can find something like this, because Valapaton great flooding mark. At the 1899, there has been a great flooding at Päijänne and Kymijoki area, and this has taken quite big area also, because water level has been 1.1 meter upper. Where is it now? So if you take Lake Päijänne water level, where is it now, and lift it 2 meters, it goes quite far. And somebody has marked this one. This is underwater, which has the upper side and lower side at this place at the river. There's a modern power plants, water power plants, and when they have built those ones, water level has gone up, and this has been gone underwater. And somebody has marked vesi and the year, and we think that this Wigman is that person who has made this one. So what this can tell us about the history, because we have this kind of marks somewhere, and this can confirm that, okay, water level has been at that place maybe 4 meters up. And then we have this World War II history. Well, Finnish almost know at this plane, because this is Lauri Pekuri's Brewster. What he has make emergency landing and at the lake, and this has been quite a recovery at the Russian side, where that has been lifted up at 1998, and this is the only plane what is left today, and this plane is restored at the Aviation Museum in Finland. It's at Tikkakoski, and this summer there was one side scan expert, a hobby related, at Penguinit at Lahti Diving Club. They have found it at Lake Päijänne, another training plane at this same era, which has dropped down at the lake. So we have one other airplane, what we have found it at this Finnish war era. and the geology in rivers. This is one thing what came quite a shock to me at last year. Velvet clay, it has formed at the ice age when those ice sheet has melted down. This has been formed then. So it's about 13,000 to 10,000 years old. And where rivers we have these ones quite a lot. And it was a surprise to me that I have diving in that place, rivers, at over 30 years. And I didn't even imagine that I have been looking this kind of clay over 30 years, and I didn't even know it, that I'm looking at bottom, which is 10,000 years old. And this is one thing what we can start thinking and study that, okay, because this is quite easily to get it at these places. And these are all over rivers and also the lakes where there's some kind of flow places. So this is quite interesting at the inland sites that you could be looking at 10,000 years old ground and clay without knowing it. And then we have, little bit time for question and answers. And this is also a photo at Kymijoki River at Heinola. And this is one challenge what we are up against when we are diving at the rivers. It's not the easy one. But also, when I have made this presentation, I was started thinking that what these logs can tell us. How we can, if we take samples of these ones, can those samples tell us how old they are, when they have, where they has been cut down? Because we know at the wood industry that like Lake Päijänne, there has been wood transport at early 14th century. And those ones which goes up north at the longest way, it's Lake Keitele, way up at Jyväskylä. So if we start thinking that they have cut trees at Lake Keitele and they have transported those logs at the waterways in Kotka. And longest what we have found it at the documents that those logs, the longest time that when they have been cut and they have been at Kotka at the sawmills. Kotka has one of the first also water sawmills in Finland. It has been taking 2 years to get those logs in there. And also, we know at the wood industry documents that these logs, when they have cut it down at somewhere at Lake Saimaa, they have also transported those ones in Kotka. So thank you, and if you have questions, just shoot it.
Thank you, Niko. Thank you, Niko, for this presentation that brought us across many different finds you talked about in the lake and the river areas, the challenges with the current and changing shorelines and changing water levels and flow directions, the difficulties that they pose to us, how they how to reconstruct the timelines. And also thank you for pointing out the transport facility that the rivers give to us, and perhaps we have missed some trade routes that go much deeper into inland than currently we think, or where we have evidence for. So maybe there's more evidence that can be found in those underwater or maritime archaeological sites.